Paula Begoun, fondatoarea brandului, o femeie care și-a dedicat ultimii 30 de ani în a învăța alte femei cum să-și îngrijească pielea, și pe Barron, care este directorul echipei de cercetare, cel care se ocupă de aceste produse minunate. Cei doi ne vor povesti foarte mult despre cele mai cunoscute mituri, despre cum să ne îngrijim pielea, despre noile lansări de anul acesta și ne vor prezenta câteva sfaturi foarte utile. Vă mulțumim că ați venit. La sfârșitul evenimentului va fi o rundă de întrebări. Paula și Bryan vă vor răspunde cu plăcere. Și acum o voi chema pe Paula.
Every morning I woke up and I just, please let me have good skin. That's all I wanted. Just one product that would do what it said it would do. So I was pissed. I was just pissed. I was pissed at the cosmetics industry. I was pissed at dermatologists. And then, oddly enough, in order to send myself through university to go to school, and I was studying partly science in school, I did makeup. I was a good makeup artist. I knew how to copy what I saw in fashion magazines. So I got jobs working at the cosmetic counters. And then I knew how crazy it was, because the sales manager would come down and train me to say, sell this product and say it gets rid of it, you know, it closes pores. And I would say things like, well, if it closes pores, who would have open pores? Sell this product saying it gets rid of cellulite. And I would say, well, if it got rid of cellulite, who would have cellulite? And you could imagine how long I stayed working at the cosmetic counters. It didn't last very long. And then the most amazing thing happened in the United States in 1977. In 1977, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, made ingredient listings on cosmetics mandatory. That was life-changing. Now, I can't stress to you enough how significant that was. The next country to get ingredient listings on products was Australia in 1995. You guys didn't get it to the mid-2000s. Canada didn't get it to 2010. I live in Seattle, Washington. When I wrote my first book, I thought I would go check out the Canadian brands. But not only didn't the Canadian brands have ingredient listings on their products, but the American brands took their ingredients off, and the French brands took their ingredients off. They were selling 2 hours away from me. What was it that the cosmetics industry didn't want me to know? What didn't they want you to know? So that started a search to understand what the hell that ingredient listing was all about. It was complicated, right? You can't read an ingredient listing. Even though it was nice that they give it to us, that we can see what's in a product, it's very hard to understand those ingredients. Even plant extracts are written in Latin. Well, actually, maybe you guys can read Latin. I can't, because you're Romanian. Americans can't read Latin, so you can't really understand what plant is even in the product, because it's written in its Latin name. So I spent the next years of my life to this day researching what is in a skincare product, what is in cosmetics, what is in hair care products, and what it can and can't do for skin. What does the published research say is good for skin? Says what can work, what can be changed, what can't be changed. So in the beginning, back in the early, you know, in the 80s and the 70s, I lived at the medical university at the University of Washington. There was no internet, there wasn't even the word internet. And I wrote most of my books sitting with, you know, my computer. You guys are so young. My computer was the kind where you had to load the hard drive. It was you probably, maybe you see floppy disks in museums. I don't even know. You know, you load the disk in the machine, and then you have to put in the disk you write to, and God forbid you turn off the machine accidentally. Bye-bye, whatever you did for, oh my God. That's how I wrote my first book. So, the journey from being very young to then kind of, probably around your age, I became a reporter at a TV station in Seattle, Washington. And I had always had a passion to write. So what I knew in my own personal passion to understand cosmetics, what I learned being a reporter at Cairo TV in Seattle, and what I wanted so much to write about, what I knew about, I wrote my first book called Blue Eyeshadow Should Be Illegal in 1984. By the way, it should still be illegal, in case you were wondering. I went on from there to write many more books. I've written a total of 21 books, with my best-selling one being Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me, of which I've written 8 of those with Bryan, and we are now doing a 9th edition. We also have worked on the Beauty Bible together and Don't Go Shopping for Hair Care Products Without Me. If Bryan hadn't come into my life, I'm fairly certain I would have never written another word. As a matter of fact, Paula's Choice came about because I didn't want to write another word about skincare and makeup. By the time I developed Paula's Choice, the last edition of Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me at the time, which I believe was in its 3rd or 4th edition, was 700 pages. The 4th edition of Blue Eyeshadow Should Be Illegal was 400 pages. I thought I would rather die than write, and I wrote those by myself. I wasn't, I didn't have a team back in those days. I thought I would rather die than write another book. So, but I needed to earn a living. I still like paying rent. I liked eating. Lord knows I like eating. I like eating all over the world. And so how was I going to do that? And what I knew about cosmetics. I knew about skincare. That's what I knew about. And I had already worked with some of the best cosmetic chemists in the United States, because I used them a lot for my source of information about ingredients. That's what they knew about. That's who I talked to. So between that and my family and friends saying, well, you always say this product is good, but this product is good, but it's too expensive. This product is good, but it's in a jar. This product is good, but it contains too much fragrance. This product just sucks. This product is just bad. Just stay away from this one. Why don't you do your own products that doesn't have any of the problems you complain about for the other products? And that's what I did. Paula's Choice started in 1994 with 10 products. It wasn't visionary. It was mostly, I just didn't know what else to do. So 10 products, launched them on the internet. And again, that wasn't so visionary. I just didn't want to deal with cosmetic counters. I didn't like cosmetic counters. I hated cosmetic counters. I hated what cosmetic counter people said, right? Don't go to the cosmetics counter without me. I knew I couldn't take all of you to the cosmetics counter with me. So the internet was the best place, and still is, for Paula's Choice to give you products. We are now up to about, 85 products. I still formulate all of the products. Well, not all of the products. I don't formulate all of the makeup. But definitely all of the skincare is all part of my product development department, and we still share information. Obviously, I have continued writing books, but that's because Bryan came into my life, and I don't have to write them anymore all by myself. So here I am, and 85 products later, and a new edition of the book coming out, and I still have a lot to tell you, so you know how to take the best care of your skin, because wasting money and hurting your skin isn't pretty. And the myths you believe about skincare is what is hurting your skin and hurting your budget. So let's start with, so no matter where I go, Bucharest, not Budapest, Bucharest, Mexico, Korea, China, France, UK, Russia, Indonesia, South Africa, doesn't matter where I go, women all over the world ask me the exact same questions. People often say to me, so don't you have to change what you say depending on where you go? And I haven't been anywhere, and I have been a lot of places where a woman doesn't have the exact same questions about skin. The cosmetics industry is so universally crazy that they just mislead and lie equally around the globe. And here's what you need to know. So first, let me start out, and I can't believe I actually don't think I have a slide that says this. Expensive doesn't mean better in the world of skincare. I don't have a slide that says that, do I? I don't think so. But let me just say that up front. There is nothing about skincare and price tag, or makeup and price tag, that has anything to do with the quality of the product you're buying. And we all kind of know that, right? Right? We've all bought expensive products that didn't work or made matters worse. In fact, we change products a lot because we're so disappointed with what we were using previously. One of the things we believe, and I'm asked about all the time, is are natural products better than ones that aren't? And the answer is absolutely not. They are not better in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, some of the worst products out there are the natural organic ones, because they put natural ingredients in their products that are bad for skin. Just because it grows out of the ground doesn't make it better for skin. Here's an example. Lavender. I love lavender. I have lavender in my garden. It smells wonderful. It turns out that lavender is an endocrine disruptor. An endocrine hormone disruptor? That's not good. That's bad for, that's not a healthy thing. And it also causes something called cell apoptosis. That is a technical term for cell death. It kills living skin cells. That's also not a good thing. Lemon, citruses, bergamot oil is bad for skin. It shows up in a ton of natural skincare products. The problem with, aside from the fact that lemon and lime and bergamot and the citrus oils are irritating to skin. You ever get lemon, you know, on a hangnail? Doesn't that feel great? Ever shave your legs and then put a fragrant body lotion on? Ever do that a second time after you did it the first time? Of course not. It burned like hell. That's not good skincare. So they stick these ingredients in, and some of them, not only are they irritating, but in the case of the citruses, they are actually problematic because they cause something called a phototoxic reaction. What that means, you put lemon on your skin and you stick it in the sun, it actually causes skin to darken, increases melanin production. That's not good. That's bad for skin. Just because it's natural doesn't make it better. There are good and bad ingredients that are synthetic and that are natural. You should only be using the best of both worlds. So, everyone wants to know this, and even after I tell you this, you're still going to ask me, and that's okay. You all want to know what's the best ingredient. Because cosmetic companies all the time tell you, oh, we have this new technology. Oh, we have this new ingredient. And it's always from some exotic place somewhere, but never here, right? It's, you know, France, or the Amazon, or China. It's someplace, but just not in Bucharest, right? I mean, it's not, maybe Italy, Montecatini. I know that was a big thing for a while. It's always someplace other than where you live. But the truth is that there isn't a miracle ingredient. They're lying. Skin is the largest organ of the body and requires a huge array of ingredients that we'll be talking about to keep skin healthy. It's just like your diet. Green tea may be great, and it is. Green tea is very healthy. If you only drank green tea, you would die. Spinach is great, but if you only ate spinach, you would die. Skin is the largest organ of the body. It takes more than one magic ingredient for it to be healthy. Essential oils are unessential oils. They are some of the worst ingredients that show up in skincare. They are merely fragrance. Now, it's not that smelling nice isn't nice, because it is, and it's okay to put a little perfume back here, but perfume and scent is not skincare. What makes a plant oil radiate fragrance is a volatile action. It's actually called a volatile compound. And that action on the skin causes irritation, and we'll talk more about why irritation is so damning to skin and causes so many problems for people. I get asked this one a lot. What should I do? I'm 30. What should I do? I'm 40. What should I do? I'm 50. What should I do? I'm whatever age, because age must be a skin type. Age is not a skin type. Just because you're a particular age absolutely has nothing to do with what you should be doing to take care of your skin. I'm 60. I have oily skin and acne. I will die with acne. I will lift up my wrinkles, except I won't have wrinkles. I will cut them away. I will not have wrinkles. But if I let myself have wrinkles, I would lift up the wrinkles and there'd be blemishes under my wrinkles. I have been struggling with acne my whole life. If I use products aimed at a mature woman, whatever that means, I would be using products that are too heavy and greasy for my skin type, because that's what the cosmetics industry believes, is that if you go over the age of 50, all of a sudden, 49 you have one skin type, and all of a sudden you're 50 and you have another skin type. Well, it doesn't work that way. There's so many things that affect skin type, and age is not necessarily one of them. You treat the skin type you have, not the age that you happen to be. I have much more in common with somebody who is breaking out at a younger age than somebody older who has dry skin. But a lot of women like me in menopause have oily, acne skin. Unfortunately, men stop breaking out when they're young. Pisses me off. We stay breaking out. Their hormones level out. Our hormones go like this. And that means we tend to break out more as a result. Is adult acne different from teenage acne? No. Neither a young person nor an older person with acne should be using products that dry out their skin. The notion that drying out skin works for acne is a lie. And it is a huge lie. It turns out when you dry out and irritate skin, you actually make acne worse. Acne is an inflammatory disorder at any age. It is a hormonally created, almost always hormonally created, inflammatory disorder. Anything you do to increase the inflammation makes acne worse at any age. So women often say to me, well, I don't want to use the products for teenagers because they make my skin dry and irritated. Well, they do the same thing to teenagers and screw up a teenager's skin too. Products need to be gentle and contain proven anti-acne ingredients, and then for older skin, proven anti-aging ingredients. Is body acne different from face acne? Does acne get on your chest or your neck and your back? The answer is yes and no. Technically, the more common type of acne that you get on your chest or your neck or your back tends to be more cystic in nature, and that could mean a different type of skincare routine, usually medical, that you might need for that part of your body. But if it tends to be just typical mild to moderate breakouts, then the same thing that works for the face for acne would work for the body. I love this one. When should I'm 30, I'm 20, I'm whatever, shouldn't I start using something? Well, you're late. You should have started the day you were born, because guess what? The day you're born, the next day you're older. And then guess what? After that, the next day you're older. You start aging the minute you're born. Now, what that means in terms of skincare is gentle cleansing, and it's always about gentle cleansing, especially for a baby, but mostly it's about sunscreen. Pediatricians have changed their rules and guidelines for babies and sunscreen many, many years ago. And the rule is if a baby's skin sees the sun and you cannot keep the baby in shade or protect it in some way from the sun, then the baby should have sunscreen on. 365 days a year, if there is anything I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you many times and I'm bore you to death, is the most important thing, and the thing you will ask me the least about is that nothing is more important than sunscreen when it comes to the health of skin. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Somebody asked me just recently, what were the top 10 things I should do for my skin? And the answer was sunscreen, 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 sunscreen. And you cannot start too soon. Does drinking water improve dry skin? That must be something Evian or Perrier started. Dry skin and drinking water are unrelated. You can drink gallons of water. Actually, if you drink gallons of water, you would die. That would actually be dangerous. However, it turns out that skin is only 10 to 30% water. Too much water is actually bad for skin, and if you drink too much water, you end up just going to the bathroom. It doesn't go to your skin, it goes in the toilet. I don't know why no one has noticed that. Okay, sorry. It's not that drinking water is bad, but that you aren't drinking enough is probably not true, at least not in terms of the health of your skin, because the water isn't running to your face. Skin is only 10 to 30% water. Healthy skin is about keeping that balance. Homeostasis, do you know how to say homeostasis? So you keep the homeostasis of skin, the balance of water in your skin stable. That's what makes skin healthy, not giving it more water. Sitting on a plane and spraying your face with water is just silly. It's just silly. That water isn't going anywhere near where it needs to be to help skin. It sits on the surface, it dehydrates, it actually breaks down the moisturizer you had on, which was probably really helping your skin, not to mention sunscreen, but we'll talk about that more in a second. Can you detox skin? No, you can't. Skin doesn't leach, doesn't bleed, doesn't spill out, spurt out, no matter what you do to it, no matter how long you sit in a sauna, no matter how much the spa esthetician or facialist tells you that you can remove toxins from skin. Remember, skin is just an organ, a really big organ of the body, and its function is not to remove toxins from the body. What removes toxins from the body is your liver and kidneys. That's what they're there for. And, and a few other miscellaneous organs in there too, just not your skin. Hot water cannot open and close pores. They are not trap doors. I wish they were, because then they would stay shut. I would never use hot water to open them. I would just use cold water to keep those suckers shut. If anything, the hot and cold water causes irritation, and irritation actually makes oily skin and open pores worse, and I'll explain that too. Have you heard this one? The skin adapts to skincare products, so you have to change them every now and then? Yeah, no. It's ridiculous. So, remember, I'll say this several more times. Skin is the largest organ of the body. Just like you don't adapt to eating spinach, you don't adapt. I have to stop eating salmon. My body just doesn't. It's just bored with salmon, and it's hurt. Now I am not healthy anymore. I got to change to, I don't know what. Sole. I have to change to, I don't know, tuna. Of course you don't adapt to salmon. The healthy ingredients in salmon are healthy for you all the time. Your body doesn't get used to them. Again, your skin is the largest organ of the body. It needs healthy ingredients that are always there, healthy substances that are always there, but break down because of growing older and mostly because of sun damage. So you need to keep putting into the skin all of those healthy ingredients, and that you don't adapt to. Your skin just needs more and more of them, one as you age or because of sun damage. No. No. There isn't a doctor, there isn't a dermatologist, there isn't a plastic surgeon going out of business because a cosmetic company launched an anti-wrinkle cream that said it worked like dermal fillers, and they always have the picture of the needle. like that's, you know, don't do that, use our product. Well, even assuming it's a brilliantly formulated product, it's still not going to replace what cosmetic dermatology or a cosmetic surgeon can do. No research to the contrary. I promise you, there isn't a celebrity over the age of 40 in the United States who you have seen lift their eyebrows since 1999, when Botox became legal for wrinkles on the forehead in the United States. So obviously we're a critic of the cosmetics industry. We criticize and review lots of products, say good things and bad things. Women often say, well, shouldn't I just use what I like? And again, the answer is a resounding no. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't like the product you use, but if you just use what you like, the chances are you will be using what isn't good for you, because we often choose or like what is bad for us. You might like smoking, don't do that. I know I saw one of you out there. I'm not going to point any fingers. Where are you? Sorry. Oh, there you are. We're going to talk later. You might like smoking, it's bad for you, don't do that. You might like getting a tan, don't do that. Tanning is your skin's damage response going, ouch, ow, stop it, you're killing me. You might like chocolate cake. Lord knows I like chocolate cake. I mean, look, if I had to choose between broccoli over here and chocolate cake over here, who the hell would eat broccoli? Who the hell is going to, let's see, spinach, Brussels sprouts, let's see, chocolate cake. I'll stay here. But we don't stay there, or at least we shouldn't stay there. Why? Am I going to trip and kill myself? Thank you. Thank you. What was I saying? See, we can't get off of chocolate. Don't you all want chocolate cake now? And we go, I hope they're serving spinach. We often like what isn't good for us. And the only reason you know is because of what the research says. The research says smoking is bad. The research says tanning is bad. The research says sugar is bad. And thereby, we can make decisions once we know the facts about what the published research says is good and bad for skin. So I want you to use products you like, but I want you to only select them from the best products that are out there, because a lot of products contain ingredients you should not be putting on your face. For example, if your day cream or your eye cream, and we'll talk about eye creams in a second, today, if you put that on and it didn't contain a sunscreen of SPF 20 or 25 or greater, it used to be SPF 15, but new research says even greater than that is better. SPF 15 is now considered even below the minimum standard, then you'd be hurting your skin. You wouldn't be helping your skin, you would actually be leaving the house with a product that was damaging your skin, because it wouldn't be protecting you from the major part of the world that is aging you, which is really about sun damage. Your skin doesn't need different ingredients at night except for, how do you say except for? Hello, say it together. Hello, what do you need during the day that you don't at night? Sunscreen. So whatever they're telling you at the cosmetic counter about some special ingredients that work at night for cell regeneration, don't do that. There is no research showing that ingredients, good ingredients for skin, work differently during the day than they do at night. It's not like eating salmon during the day is bad, right? If you eat salmon in the day, it's still healthy whether you eat it 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. Healthy ingredients for skin are healthy during the day and they're healthy at night. And there isn't any research to the contrary. Do you need an eye cream? I know you're all buying eye creams. Is that because you use Paula's choice? No, I'm teasing. So here's what it is. It's not that you don't need to put something around your eye. You do. Eye is skin. It needs healthy ingredients to look younger and be younger. It needs sun protection. Most eye creams on the market are badly formulated. They contain many of the ingredients I will warn you about in just a minute. Most don't contain sun protection. If that was the only thing you were putting around your eye during the day, it would be dangerous for you. Most eye creams and eye products come in jar packaging. We'll talk about why that's a problem too. So it's not that you don't need something around your eye, it just doesn't necessarily have to be labeled as an eye cream. It just has to contain great ingredients for the face, the eye area. There isn't a shred of research showing that the eye area needs something different when it comes to fighting wrinkles and skin discolorations and every other thing you might not like about your skin as it grows older. Doesn't change for around the eye area than it does for the face. The irony is the cosmetics industry, you'll go to the counter and they'll tell you, oh, the eye area is so sensitive. So you need to use this product because it is so much more sensitive, it won't irritate the skin around your eyes. So I get it. The face gets the bad ingredients and the eye area gets the good ingredients. I can irritate the hell out of the face, I just can't irritate the area around the eye. No part of the face, no part of the skin should be being irritated. That is a problem. Well, I could go on about eye creams, but you get the picture. Can skincare products build collagen? Yep, they can. And when they're well formulated and you're using a sunscreen during the day, your skin loves making collagen. Your skin wants to make collagen. If we didn't get in the way of our skin making collagen, we wouldn't have a problem. But we get in the way either because of sun damage or because we're using products that encourage collagen breakdown because they irritate the skin. But skincare products that are badly formulated will cause collagen to break down. So does diet affect your skin? Absolutely, diet affects your skin. An anti-inflammatory diet, what they in the United States often call a Mediterranean diet, but I've seen the way a lot of Mediterraneans eat and I don't think we know what we're talking about. So what we should be talking about is a diet that has little to minimal sugar, little to minimal saturated fats, high in omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids from fish, and loaded with antioxidants, that's the dark leafy green vegetables, as well as the dark rich colored fruits. These are our favorite myths to debunk. Are sulfates bad for skin? No. They're fine for skin. It's ridiculous. No research showing that sulfates in of themselves are any better than cleansing agents that are not in the sulfate category. Is mineral oil bad for skin? Not only, and often, by the way, they hide it on labels in Europe. They call it paraffinium liquidium, so you don't really know it contains mineral oil. But that's okay that it contains mineral oil. First of all, mineral oil is natural. It comes from the earth. It's absolutely natural, and mineral oil has an immense amount of research showing that it is actually one of the better skin healing ingredients on the market. Does sunscreen block vitamin D? Have you guys heard that one here? Is that a popular one? No? Do you know what vitamin D is? Okay. So you need vitamin D. No? Yes or no? Do we know this one? People have heard that? Don't use sunscreen because it's blocking vitamin D? Yeah. So let's get skin cancer. Let's all run out into and then we'll build vitamin D. We won't get bone cancer, but we'll get skin cancer. And so you substitute one problem for another. So first of all, it is unlikely, highly unlikely, that sunscreen is blocking vitamin D. That's because less than 10% of the population is using sunscreen on a regular basis, or applying it as we should. So if 60% of us are short on vitamin D, but only 10% of us are using sunscreen, it ain't the sunscreen. Let's say it is the sunscreen. Okay, it isn't, but let's say you want to believe it is. Don't make your face the source of the sun exposure. Use your ass. Use your thigh. I don't care what you use. You know, who cares if you have an ugly old rear end? You can cover it up with pants. You can't cover up your face. That's what you're not going to like the most about getting older, is what happens to your face, your hands, and your chest. So don't use those as the source of getting sun. If you want to believe the lie about you have to go out in the sun for, I don't know, depending on what you find on the internet, it says 15 minutes to 30 minutes. If you want to believe that one, then just wear a really short skirt, really short pants, and go be in the sun with your legs. And wear a hat and sunglasses and put a ton of sunscreen on your face. Because believe me, what you won't like about your skin is what happens to it. I'm not going to be able to hold this and do this demonstration. So let me show you something. So I'm 60, right? So I'm from the United States, so this is my driver's side arm. So this part of my body doesn't see the sun very much, right? It's down by the sides. When you sit out in the sun, when I did as a kid, I haven't, since 32. It doesn't get tanned very much. The parts of your body that don't see the sun look younger, act younger than the parts of your body that see the sun. So here's my 60-year-old arm, and this part looks like a baby. Look, no skin discolorations, no crepiness, it bounces back. And then here's the part of my arm that has seen a lot of sun in the days when I wasn't so good about wearing sunscreen, and I have no elastin left, and I have brown mottled discolorations. Sun damage, old. No sun damage, baby. You choose. Now I'll pick up where's my marker? Okay. Parabens don't cause breast cancer. That's ridiculous, that's silly, that's stupid. Parabens, the sad thing about it is that the industry, because women have been so hysterical about it and they're afraid of it, that they have taken it out of skincare products. It was the most gentle preservative, broad spectrum preservative on the market. And it is without question that the one study that everybody jumped on, that said that parabens were found in 20 breast cancer samples, that the likelihood is almost 100% that that came from food, not from skincare products, because parabens are a dietary preservative. They're used in, if you eat processed foods, you are most likely eating parabens. But on skin, when parabens go on skin and they absorb, they actually break down well before they get into skin to something benign, something that doesn't even make them preservatives anymore. They work as preservatives in the product, not in the skin. The ultimate question is, can you repair skin? Yeah, you can really repair skin a lot. Just not as much as they promise, and you certainly can't do it using bad products. Skincare is rocket science. If this was 15, 20 years ago when I was first writing my books, I would have said skincare isn't rocket science, it's simple. It isn't simple anymore. It's actually rather complicated. That's the good and the bad news. Because we know so much, we can do so much more to take care of skin. So, you have to be gentle. Here's what's the problem with irritation. Here's the problem with plant extracts that irritate the skin, or fragrance that irritates the skin, or synthetic ingredients that irritate the skin, is that irritation causes collagen to break down. Irritation causes elastin to break down. Irritation causes the protective outer barrier of your skin to break down, so it's more susceptible to environmental damage. And here's the most damning thing. When I found this research, I was really pissed. It turns out that when you use drying and irritating ingredients, which are, they show up in a ton of products, but they are especially strong in products aimed for those with acne, especially men and teenagers. And those ingredients that irritate the skin, like alcohol, like peppermint, like menthol, like eucalyptus, like witch hazel, camphor, on and on, actually stimulate oil in the oil gland. The research we found, this was back I think in 2004, 2005, is that there, inside the pore, there's nerve endings that trigger androgens. Androgens are the male hormone that cause oil production. So by irritating the skin, you can actually increase oil production. Excuse me. I've been talking a lot. You can actually increase oil production because you have stimulated the production of androgens. Irritating skin is bad for all skin types. These are the most important ingredients for everybody's skin. Everybody needs these type of ingredients in their products, and lots of them. Not one, lots of them. There isn't one best one. Antioxidants, because they inhibit or cause to reduce free radical damage from the environment and from the sun. Antioxidants help sunscreen work better. Cell communicating ingredients. Cell communicating ingredients are a pretty remarkable thing. The ones we know the most about are retinol, niacinamide, lecithin, and to a lesser degree, peptides. Now what's so stunning about cell communicating ingredients, particularly retinol, we know the most about retinol, is it absorbs into the skin and can actually tell a skin cell to make better skin cells. So what happens with sun damage is your skin starts making abnormal skin cells. Skin cells start to mutate. They go from being nice and round and healthy to being abnormally shaped and flat and rigid and stiff. Retinol actually absorbs into the skin and tells skin cells to make better cells. And then the most amazing thing happens. Once that cell gets the message, it then tells its neighboring cells, hey, I just heard from retinol that you guys are making bad skin. I think you should make better skin cells. And they do. Barrier repair ingredients. One of the reasons irritation and sun damage, among many reasons, is so bad is because when you hurt the outside barrier of skin, you cause it to break down, and everything else is a cascade event from that point. Now, there's other things about sun damage and irritation that causes problems, but damaging that outside barrier is one of the most significant in terms of your skin's ability to heal and your skin's ability to look smooth. So skin needs a ton of ingredients that keep this intact so you don't have micro tears or a weak exterior. So there are a ton of these kind of ingredients, of which the best ones we know of are glycerin, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, cholesterol, glycosaminoglycans, lots of them. And they are important for skin. So antioxidants, cell communicating ingredients, barrier repair ingredients, or what we often call skin repairing ingredients, and anti-irritants. Now, it turns out antioxidants and actually most of the ingredients we're talking about that are barrier repair ingredients and antioxidants are actually anti-irritants in of themselves. But then there are some special ones that have particularly strong anti-inflammatory properties, of which one of them is willow herb, allantoin, curcuminoids, and one other one, beta-glucans, the oatmeals. Licorice extract. AHAs and BHAs, this is a shameless plug for Paula's Choice because Paula's Choice is particularly fond of AHAs and BHAs. I think they are the unsung hero in the world of skincare. One of the things about sun-damaged skin is the underlying layer of skin gets thin and abnormal, and the outerlying layer of skin gets thick. You naturally and gently exfoliate skin, and I'm not talking about scrubbing skin. Those products you use that contain little scrub particles tear into skin, cause micro tears, and that damages skin. So we're talking about gently and evenly exfoliating skin. Sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. And none of us are applying, even when we apply it, we don't apply it right. You go to the cosmetic counter. First of all, if you're buying an expensive sunscreen, it's dangerous. And the reason it's dangerous is because you won't apply it right. You must apply sunscreen liberally, or you're not getting the SPF on the label. You wouldn't be getting the SPF protection number on the label. And I've been to the cosmetic counters and I hear what they say, that 200, well actually, you guys don't use euros, but I definitely don't know lays. So I'll use US dollars. So you go to the cosmetic counter and the product is $200 US, and it's got a sunscreen, and they tell you, you just need to, see, I make fun of cosmetic counter people. It's just so rude. You just need to use it. It'll last forever. If it lasts forever, you're using it wrong. Then for sure you're aging and damaging your skin. You would be using it wrong. It can't last forever. You have to wear it liberally. And again, it has to be SPF 15 or greater. Actually, I'm going to stop saying SPF 15 or greater. It needs to be at least 20, 25, and 30 is better. And layering sunscreen is something women can do. Because you can put on your moisturizer with sunscreen if you want. And then you could put on your foundation with sunscreen and your pressed powder with sunscreen. Paula's Choice, obviously. What a shock. We have many options for sunscreen, including 3 of our 4 foundations all have sunscreen, SPF 20 to 30, and our pressed powder is SPF 15, so you can layer sunscreen. You would never just use pressed powder for sunscreen, by the way, because you're never going to put it on enough, or you would look like a dusty, messy countertop. You would never put it on enough to get the right protection. Packaging matters. All the brilliant ingredients we've been talking about, the antioxidants, the cell-communicating ingredients, the barrier repair ingredients, the anti-irritants, don't like air. They break down in the presence of air. Think about how long a head of lettuce lasts in your refrigerator. They don't like air. So you take that lid off of that jar and all those beautiful ingredients start breaking down. It would be a waste of money to invest in any product at any price if it comes in a jar, especially if you're hoping to get the good ingredients to your skin. So, how many skincare products do you need? At Paula's Choice, we think 4 basic ones. A gentle water soluble cleanser, exfoliant, AHA or BHA, BHA for normal to oily skin, AHA for normal to dry skin, a daytime moisturizer with sunscreen, loaded with antioxidants, barrier repair ingredients, cell-communicating ingredients, and a nighttime moisturizer that doesn't have sunscreen, loaded with those same state-of-the-art ingredients. When you add more products has to do with your skincare concern. So if you have specific problems, such as acne, rosacea, advanced sun damage, skin discoloration, very dry, on and on and on, then you need to reconsider how the number of products you're using to treat those conditions. So before it's Bryan's turn, let me just say, I want to remember what I was just going to say before Bryan's turn. So people often ask me, does everybody need a moisturizer? Right? Because you go to the cosmetic counters, what do they say? Everybody needs a moisturizer. So the problem is how do you define the term moisturizer? What does moisturizer mean? Not everybody needs a moisturizer that is a lotion or cream. I would never put a lotion or cream on my face. It would make me a greasy, icky, glumpy mess. I have oily skin. I shine like an oil slick. after just about 2 hours, and I don't use those products on my face. But what everyone needs are those ingredients. My skin needs antioxidants and cell barrier repair ingredients and cell communicating ingredients and anti-irritants, but the way I get them to my face is with a liquid. The Paula's Choice toners are all loaded with those kind of ingredients, or a gel, or a very thin matte finish lightweight serum with no feel to it. So I need those ingredients, but if I get them to my face in a cream or a lotion, I'm going to clog pores and break out and feel heavy and miserable. Now, my eye area skin is different, so I use one of my moisturizers that would make my face feel terrible, but I use that around my eye. That's when the eye area might need something different than the face. Different parts of your face, depending on what's going on, might need different types of products. It's Bryan's turn, thank God. Thank you, guys. I'll have another presentation in a bit.